AB 12 really was like everything in like obtaining what bit of independence I have currently. AB 12 was the main pushing factor behind me getting a job. It was the main pushing factor behind my savings account, which is like several $1,000s deep now. Main pushing factor behind school. It helped me get through the foster care, helped me actually like have some kind of groundwork laid ahead of me, gave me a good direction of like what to work on instead of just free floating, trying to do day-by-day stuff.
The probation department is going to be here as a big support for you. You can reach out to anyone, your probation officer, any support systems that are connected to our department, so that we can help to make sure that the case plan that you're on is going to be a successful transition. You're going to be supported. We're working with us, working with the court, working with community partners. We're going to make sure that you will have every opportunity to succeed. And so regardless of what your status is on probation, on AB 12, and even beyond that time, we want you to know that we are here to serve you and we're here to support you.
Whether it's in Fresno, whether it's out of county, whether it's out of state, when I'm meeting with the youth, I'm there to assist them with whatever needs that they need. Sometimes that looks like updating their resume, helping them apply to different jobs, referring them to a local temp agency in that area, or going with them to that agency and helping them apply for different work programs, different jobs. A lot of times it's meeting them at their residence and helping them enroll into school. Sometimes it looks a little different on what their needs are. A lot of times there's times where they need to reconnect with different family members. I'll sit with them and see what we can do in making that possible, collaborating with different agencies such as the Department of Social Services and making that happen.
Initially, when the services were offered to me, I was 17 years old, going on to be 18, still in the group home. That was like 4 years ago. I was skeptical. I kind of just wanted everything to go back to how it was before entering the foster care. I didn't really want to dive into the program further and get, I was looking forward to leaving the court systems and leaving all that behind. And that was just first impressions. By the end of the foster care, a little year after that, I ended up just diving into the program for the money, and I loved it. It kept me on my feet, gave me good direction to follow. I ended up leaving the program due to complications with living situation, but ultimately I've re-entered the program about a year and a half later. I'm doing well in it now.
The biggest thing about going into AB 12 for youth is that it's voluntary. The youth gets to voluntarily decide if they want to participate, or the youth can voluntarily decide to exit the program. Then because it's voluntary, the youth has the ability to make more decisions in regards to their housing, their goals, their employment, their education. And again, the role of the court and probation is to now take the position of providing support and guidance to help them achieve those goals. We're no longer directing them on what to do and how to do it and when to do it, but what are the services and support that you need to be successful.
Kevin was hesitant to come back into AB 12. He was initially in the program and decided to depart from AB 12 and came back and was hesitant at first, but after encouraging him and letting him know what type of resources, what we can set him up with, if he were to come back, he can be successful.
Currently, I'm a full-time student at Fresno City College, working out of the Electrical Systems Technology program. Get to do a couple things, program some robots, solder some boards up. Looking to graduate in spring 2023 currently.
Youth in AB 12 are usually transitioning out of the juvenile justice campus, so Focus Forward is there to support them as they're transitioning out. Generally, what we intend to do is to create a natural support for our kiddos, whether it's reunification back with their families, building that support, healing their past traumas. That's what we're there for generally. Essentially, what we want to do is have our youth become self-sufficient.
When I was in the group home, and it was mentioned to me I was real interested because I thought when I was 18, get booted out of the program, be off probation, and I got to do something for myself. And when they talked to me about that, they were giving me all the details, and I was real interested in it.
Josh Carter, he was selected. I took over his last 6 months of his supervision in AB 12. He was already well established at that point. He was working jobs here and there, but he had a vision of what he wanted to do.
Well, I'm on my way to the apprenticeship to become a journeyman. It's a 5-year class pretty much. I have a house out in Selma, been living there for about 2 years now.
He's very independent, knows what he wants, is smart with everything he does in life, while still understanding where he came from and not taking anything he achieves these days for granted.
Right now, this moment in time of my life, I'm a certified welder, pipeliner, which is underground pipes and overhead pipes on wineries and stuff like that right now. Yeah, I love what I do. I mean, it helps me in a lot of ways. It helps me, being out of town helps me just see the bigger picture on what's out there in the world for me.
To see a 16-year-old Richard to where Richard's at right now, it's completely night and day. And again, he took advantage of the services that we offered him.
I selected Juan Carlos. From when he was on probation to when he transitioned to AB 12, he didn't know if he wanted to complete school or work. He was unsure, and then he just buckled down, finished his high school education. He's been working a full-time job.
A little bit about my life is I have 2 kids, I have an apartment, I have a wife, I have a job, and through my job I got a voucher to be a truck driver. At first I didn't know that I would be able to, like have my own place. I thought I had to go live with a roommate, but I talked to Hector and everything, and he said, it's fine, you can live on your own.
I would just tell him to think twice before doing something. That's where I messed up at as a kid.
There's better stuff out there than being, locked up.
Make much better choices. Care a lot more about like what you do to yourself. Don't do stupid stuff, man. It's not worth it.
Just staying in the positive lane without letting, like, yes, you're gonna have your friends, you're gonna have the people come back around, but you gotta elevate yourself and learn how to overgrow them, and tell them what path you're taking, to not let them come in just to interrupt it. Yes, they can come in and enjoy it and stuff, but they can't come in and interrupt it. That was my biggest sacrifice, my biggest thing I had to do, and eventually I did get to my goal, and I didn't let no one stop that, so that was mine.